Good evening, everybody. It is a pleasure to be in your midst, and indeed, Pilar, I should start with saying it's great to have a new crew on board in the European Parliament, and you are already active for a couple of months, so to say, or more than a couple, and we need each other. And rightly said by you, Pilar, it is a fact now. It is a digital economy. It's not a matter of are you in favor, yes or no. It is just real life. It is about, for everybody in Europe and outside, it is a fact of life. Having said that, and I'm delighted to mention that again, sometimes a tough fight, no doubt about that, but it was always an open, transparent discussion, dialogue, with sometimes real important issues, so to say, but at the end of the day, both sides of the coin were absolutely willing to come to a challenge and to a goal where Europe, at the end of the day, could be more competitive, creating more jobs, and having a better future for our citizens. And having said that, it is still not done. I'm expecting that I'm anyhow be paid till the 1st of November. And if you, in your wisdom, are still taking a decision that should be a bit longer, that won't make a real problem for me. For I'm absolutely delighted to fight with you, and indeed for a better goal for the end of the couple of packages that we still have. The telco single market, the network information security, main subjects, and absolutely main also for talking about getting rid of roaming. And getting rid of roaming, you spoke clear language. You spoke clear language that roaming should get rid of before Christmas 2015, and the citizens have got that message. And it's quite difficult to explain that for obvious reasons that couldn't be done. And by the way, it is already on the state that we are cutting off roaming, but getting rid of roaming, and that was, I remember with my hearing that some of you were persistent in saying, and what are you delivering during this term of office? And the body language of one of your colleagues is just giving me the feeling that I'm on the correct line. That we have to deliver, and not only for roaming, very important, but also for more cooperation in spectrum. And that is one of the issues that I'm really involved in. If all those citizens, even during a financial crisis, are still so fond to buy their devices, to have a phone, a mobile phone, and I won't make a advertisement for what phone, but they want to have a phone. They want to have a hand-off and device, an iPad or whatever. They want to use it. It's not only a matter of ownership. It is a matter of their life is connected with all those devices. And I just returned this morning from New York, from the UN, and visits to the White House, talking with the State Department, and sawing the lining up with those Apple shops. Goodness gracious, people were sleeping up front to get that device. And, well, it's up to them how to spend their money. But, well, no way. But they are expecting that it is functioning. So we have to activate the investment in broadband. And we have to take an opportunity that we have indeed close by in Europe. So it is talking about spectrum, and it is talking about, by the way, also net neutrality. We have to finalize our job. And I'm the first one to say, I'm delighted that the next Commission President has mentioned that his top priority will be the digital single market. That anyhow, Pilar, is coming through. So now we have, of course, to wait how it's implemented, but that's great. By the way, it's also giving a good feeling, but that's just a personal remark, that I will be replaced by 3 men. Bit more precise, it's not only the Digital Agenda Commissioner, but 2 vice presidents. It is ANSEP for Digital Agenda, but it's also Katijne, for he is going to be the one in favor and responsible for economy, the growth of the economy, development of the economy. Well, I don't need to explain to you, that's all digital. So the instrument in finding your way to have a boost in the economy is connected with this portfolio. And what we discussed before, as well in the former parliament, as well in the new parliament, is that the instrument for getting that boost is connected with digitization. It is connected with the instrument. And sometimes people are asking me, what is your feeling? What is your feeling about Europe? And I had a great experience, and sorry to make again a personal remark. I was invited at Princeton for lunch in the Institute of Advanced Studies yesterday, and I was sitting in the office of Einstein. Can you imagine the office of Einstein? So I felt humble, no doubt about, very modest and so on. But having said that, it is about cooperation, joining and sharing. And what they were telling me, in that corridor of that rather small building, there were 3 of the most brilliant people we ever had. And they weren't talking to each other. They only said in the morning, a good day for you. But that was it. So communicating and joining was not at stake. And I still remember, and you were joining, Pilar, the campus party 5 years ago in Madrid. All those youngsters, all those European youngsters, the youngest 13-year-old and the eldest 30-year-old, inventors, researchers, startups, entrepreneurs, and they were gathered, thousands of them, in Madrid. And it was new for me. And I was sitting next to 2 youngsters, 13-year-old, Spanish, it was a coincidence, startups with 3 enterprises already startup and successful. And they were just looking at each other's screens of their iPads. And at that time, I looked at it and I was trying to listen their messages, and I said to one, "You are stupid. You are just sharing your invention with your competitor." And he looked at me. That was the wisest message I got since long. And he said, "Madame le Commissaire, you are old-fashioned." And I said, "Pardon me?" And they said, "It is joining and sharing." And that is our absolutely power of the younger generation in Europe. It is joining and sharing, but then we, politicians, and I think we are combined in that family, then we politicians really have to give them comfort. We have to give them those possibilities and opportunities to start their businesses, and that for me is the hope, and therefore I'm delighted to be in your midst, for you are going on with that challenge. It is the challenge to tackle the youth unemployment. It's absolutely unacceptable to be faced in certain member states. In every member state the youth unemployment is too high, but in certain member states it's absolutely unacceptable. It is a threat. If you are talking about above 50% of youth unemployment, not with a perspective that within a year you can find a job, then you're talking about a lost generation. We, being aware that that is at stake, we have to do our utmost to tackle that problem and to give them perspective. And digital can give them perspective. They are the startups, they are the app developers, they are not waiting till politicians, also the Commission, is giving them the good feeling. So we have to do our utmost, and I wish you all the success in your future, the next 5 years, but please back me in a debate, in a constructive debate about the two proposals. One is telco single market. It is the least we can do. Giving over to Juncker's team and to just tell them, go on and you have to finish the job. And the NIS, the Network Information Security. For security, I don't need to explain to you. It's quite important to get the trust of the 100 million citizens in Europe that have never ever visited the internet. That is for me unacceptable. We have to give them trust, they have to join the party, and then Europe will be indeed in a shape that we are all proud of. Thank you.